At night, when the world quiets down, most people seek distractions, entertainment, scrolling, idle chatter. But for the Stoic, night is not an escape. It is a ritual. This is the most powerful part of your day. Not because it's filled with action, but because it's filled with reflection. It is when your soul has space to breathe. The noise of the day fades, and what's left is who you really are. And that is where the Stoic thrives. Most people let life happen to them. But Stoics choose to prepare. Every single night before sleep, a true Stoic doesn't just turn off the lights. They tune into their mind. They train their thoughts. They sharpen their spirit. They ask the hard questions most people avoid. Why? Because true power is not about dominating the outside world. It's about mastering the inner world. And that mastery begins every night. Not with rituals of comfort, but with rituals of clarity. Here are 7 Stoic things you must do every night before sleep. Not suggestions, disciplines. If you follow them, you won't just sleep better, you'll live better. And when you wake up, you won't be just another man. You'll be one step closer to becoming unshakable. Let's begin. 1. Review the day without emotion. One of the greatest Stoic habits is the daily review, and not just any review, a dispassionate one. Seneca, the great Stoic thinker, wrote, "When the light has been taken away and my wife has fallen silent, I examine my entire day and measure what I have done and said." You don't wait for some life crisis to evaluate yourself. A Stoic does it every night. Here's how it works. Sit in silence. No distractions, no phone, no TV. Replay your day like a silent movie, from the moment you woke up until now. Ask yourself, where did I act in line with virtue, courage, wisdom, justice, and self-discipline? Where did I fall short? Was I reactive? Did I waste time? Did I gossip, judge, or act out of ego? What can I improve tomorrow? But here's the key. No guilt, no pride, no self-praise, no shame. Detach. You are simply observing yourself like a coach, not scolding yourself like a critic. The Stoic does not seek perfection. He seeks progress through awareness. You cannot improve what you don't examine. You cannot grow what you don't reflect on. So every night, take 10 minutes. Run through the battlefield of your day. Find the weak spots. Then sleep, not like a man escaping reality, but like a warrior preparing for his next mission. Brain 2. Practice negative visualization. This sounds strange to modern ears. Why would a Stoic think about losing the people he loves, his health, or his home, before going to bed? Because he wants to wake up with gratitude, not entitlement. This Stoic discipline is called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of misfortunes. It doesn't mean you wish bad things to happen. It means you prepare your mind for their possibility. You think, what if tomorrow I lose this job? What if I no longer have my strength? What if someone I love is gone? This practice does 2 things. 1. It makes you stronger. When hardship eventually comes, and it will, you're not caught off guard. You've already rehearsed your mind to stay calm. 2. It makes you grateful. Tonight you sleep next to someone you love. You're healthy. You have food, shelter, peace. Good. Remind yourself it could vanish tomorrow. That realization is like fire. It burns away arrogance and creates deep appreciation. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, said, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." So, before you sleep, visualize loss, because it makes what you do feel sacred. And nothing makes a man stronger than knowing he has nothing to fear from loss. 3. Detach from what you don't control. Imagine this. You're lying in bed, unable to sleep. Your mind replays an argument, a missed opportunity, something someone said. But here's the truth. You don't control any of that now. And as Epictetus taught, freedom begins the moment you recognize what is and isn't within your power. A Stoic asks only one question before sleep. Did I act with virtue today in the face of what I could control? You don't control people's opinions. You don't control outcomes. You don't control how others treat you. But you do control how you respond, what you say, what you tolerate, what you pursue. Tonight, if you're carrying the burden of regret or stress, drop it. It is not yours to carry. You cannot go back and change the day, but you can choose what thoughts you allow into your mind now. And here's the real power. Detachment is not apathy. It's not about not caring. It's about not being controlled. The Stoic detaches from outcomes not because he's emotionless, but because he's focused on mastery of self. So tonight, say to yourself, I did what I could. The rest is fate. And trust in the Stoic truth. The man who masters his mind sleeps well. 4. Forgive. Let it go. What weighs heavier than a stone? A grudge carried into the night. Resentment is the enemy of peace. And yet, how many people go to bed every night with anger burning in their hearts? Not the Stoic. A Stoic understands this. Forgiveness is a weapon, not a weakness. Why? Because it frees you. You're not doing it for the one who wronged you. You're doing it to release yourself from emotional slavery. Think of it like this. Every grudge is a chain. Every resentment is a cage. Every bit of anger is a tax on your soul, and you're paying interest every single night. So what do? You forgive, not to erase the past, but to reclaim your inner stillness. Someone hurt you, betrayed you, mocked you. Good. That's their burden to carry. But yours? Yours is to remain calm, grounded, untouchable. Seneca said, "He who forgives ends the quarrel." Before sleep, mentally let them go. Say, I release this. I choose peace. I don't carry trash into my temple, because a Stoic knows nothing disturbs the man who refuses to cling. 5. Meditate on mortality. Death is not a tragedy. For the Stoic, it's a teacher. Each night before bed, meditate on this. I may not wake up tomorrow. Not to be morbid, not to fear, but to remember. Life is fragile, short, and sacred. We spend so much of our lives as if we have forever. We put off calls, apologies, goals, truths. We act like tomorrow is guaranteed, but the Stoic knows better. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This isn't a quote. It's a call to live. When you meditate on mortality, you strip away what doesn't matter. Ego dies with you. Money leaves behind nothing. Grudges, useless in the grave. What remains? The courage you showed, the love you gave, the wisdom you cultivated. So as you lie in bed tonight, ask, did I speak my truth today? Did I act like a man who knows his time is limited? If this were my last day, did I honor it? Because here's the irony. Those who fear death the least live the most. When you train your mind to accept the end, you stop delaying the beginning of a real life. And when you live as though you might not wake up tomorrow, you begin to truly live today. 6. Read just one. Stoic passage. In a world flooded with noise, most people fall asleep with distractions. They scroll endlessly, binge, numb themselves with entertainment. But a Stoic is different. He chooses to end his day with philosophy, not fantasy. Just one passage, one line from Marcus Aurelius, one insight from Epictetus, one reflection from Seneca. That's enough to shape your subconscious, because what you feed your mind before sleep feeds your soul during rest. Seneca once said, "We should every night call ourselves to account. What infirmity have I mastered today? What passions opposed? What temptation resisted? What virtue acquired?" Reading even a single Stoic thought grounds you. It reminds you, what matters, what doesn't, who you are becoming. You begin to replace anxiety with clarity. You begin to sleep, not in escape, but in wisdom. So tonight, don't end your day with gossip or dopamine. End it with guidance. Open meditations or letters from a Stoic or any book that anchors you to virtue. Let the final voice in your mind not be a celebrity, a reel, or a stranger online, but a philosopher whispering, "You are in control. Act with virtue. You are enough." This is how you transform sleep into a spiritual ritual, not by emptying your mind, but by filling it with eternal truths. 7. Visualize tomorrow with intention. A Stoic does not wander into tomorrow blindly. He plans with purpose. Before sleep, close your eyes and visualize the day ahead, not with fantasy, with clarity. Ask, what obstacles might I face? What temptations may test me? What moments will demand courage, patience, or wisdom? This is not worrying about the future. It's preparing for it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, 'Today I shall meet with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness.'" He didn't say that to be negative. He said it to become unbreakable. You already know your weaknesses. You already know what triggers you. You already know where you tend to fall. So visualize those moments and decide, now, how you will respond. Will you argue again? Will you get distracted again? Will you delay your purpose? Or will you rise above? This mental preparation builds a powerful psychological advantage. Most people stumble through their day and wonder why they feel lost. But you walk into your day already knowing what it demands and how to meet it. Before sleep, see tomorrow clearly and whisper to yourself, "I will face what comes with grace. I will stay true to my values. I will act, not to react." This is how a Stoic wins before the battle even begins, because he enters every day already victorious in his mind. Final reflection. Sleep like a warrior. Now ask yourself, what kind of man are you becoming when no one is watching, when the day ends and the lights go out, when you are alone with your thoughts? That's where discipline is tested. That's where character is forged. A Stoic doesn't use the night to escape life. He uses it to master it. When others seek comfort, he seeks clarity. When others drift into dreams, he dives into purpose. When others end the day carelessly, he ends it deliberately. These 7 practices aren't bedtime routines. They are soul armor, mental sharpening, self-discipline, and they're not optional. Not if you want to live like a philosopher. Not if you want peace, power, purpose. So tonight, before you close your eyes, reflect, without emotion. Visualize loss, gain gratitude, release control, forgive, meditate on death, cherish life, read wisdom, feed the mind, prepare tomorrow, own your fate, and then sleep, not like a man escaping, but like a warrior recharging for battle. Because every morning, life will test you again, and only the man who disciplines himself at night will rise. Ready. Be still. Be strong. Be stoic. Subscribe for more powerful stoicism and psychology. Comment Stoic if you agree,